Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. I'm Phil. Phil I am, and this is the Level 1 podcast for Wednesday, the 17th of April, 2024. It is my final consecutive streaming day this week, and so I welcome you here to a fun and full day of good stuff. And it is a good, interesting variety today because it'll be half gameplay and half something that I have never done before. It's always cool to try out new ideas, and I'm very excited to try out a new idea later tonight over on my DSP Reacts channel. We'll be talking about that in just a little bit. But today on the show, what will we be doing? I'd like to recap what went down yesterday, talking a little bit about this Halibut game that we tried out. And honestly, what I really like is feedback, because I'm not really getting any, on if this is a game that you guys would like to see me continue trying to play and enjoy, or if the first stream was enough. We'll talk about that in a sec. And then last night's Street Fighter stream. I have some interesting stuff to talk about, some results to share with you. And essentially, I want to talk a little bit about the whole debate of casual play versus ranked play in Street Fighter 6 now, because I feel like the game has changed. Let's put it that way. So we'll have a little bit of discussion about that. We'll go over the game schedule for the next several days. And there is a few, or I think maybe 2 or 3 news stories to cover today. So we'll be doing that as well. All right. By the way, I repositioned the mic slightly. What I'm trying to do is to get the microphone to be a little bit more aiming towards me, especially when I'm playing a game. I noticed that last night when I was playing Street Fighter 6, as I was playing, sometimes the microphone wouldn't pick up my voice as well. I think that's because the microphone was like right here. So by moving it a few inches to the right, I'm hoping that it'll pick up my voice a little better. Like right now as I'm talking, how does it sound? Because right now I'm facing my TV. You know, when I'm going to be playing Elden Ring today, this is exactly how I'll be facing as I play it. Hopefully it sounds good, right? I don't know. How does it sound? I'm just curious on your take. How does it sound? What do you think? Right now, as I'm facing the TV and talking, how does this sound? No one's responding. Okay, great. Thanks for the help. So anyway, literally no one responded. Sounds good. Okay. Yeah, I think what happened was after all the tweaks that I've done, once again, things need to be tweaked and changed for a little bit to be a little bit better. And the microphone was too far to the left. So now that I moved it further to the right, it'll sound a little better. I also adjusted the volume one more time. I made my microphone slightly louder because I was watching back my Street Fighter 6 videos from last night. And it was okay, but definitely if my voice had been a tad bit louder, it would have been perfect. So I adjusted it again. I'm trying to find the right balance of game audio to microphone because each game can be different. And also I'm trying to find the right balance so that the audio on my streams is now good for you. I think now, at least on my desktop speakers, if I turn them up to roughly 50% volume, it's perfect. Meaning if I go above 50%, it's too loud. If I go below 50%, it's too low. That's where you want it, right? You don't want to have to max out your speakers to hear me, right? So there you go. So hopefully it's better. Again, constant improvements, constant tweaking, changing, trying to make things better. I hope that it sounds good to you. All right, so today's my last streaming day of the week. Tomorrow, I'll be off from streaming. And let us now talk about yesterday's games, namely this Halibut game, which no one really knew what to make of Halibut. It just seemed to be an oddity. It's a style of art where everything looks to be almost claymation style, although now that I've played it, I would actually correct that statement. I actually don't think it's claymation style. I think it looks like a bunch of puppets almost that are painted, like painted puppets moving around. And it's weird because if you don't look closely, it actually looks pretty darn like realistic. Like you think these are real people or whatever. But then when you look closely, you're like, wait a minute. No, it looks like puppets because you can see like paint and stuff on the models as they talk. I thought it was unique. Some people in the chat were actually saying it was bothering them. And I was like, bothering you? They're like, yeah, it's like, I don't know how to put it. I don't know if people were saying like they were feeling weird or sick or something. I don't know why that would happen. The Blimp says a cross between Abe's Odyssey and Wallace and Gromit. Strangely awesome. So there you go. Yeah, some people said something about the uncanny valley. And I was like, really? That's what you're thinking of when you're watching me play a game called Harold Halibut. Okay, that's probably the last thing that came to my mind. But anyway, so what is Harold Halibut? It is a narrative-based game where you walk around an underwater space station slash ship on which all these humans are basically stranded and living, and you do menial tasks, although the plot seems to be picking up to the point where it's not going to be so menial. In a nutshell, I'll just give you a brief summary of the first 3 hours, okay? You're like a tech person on the ship, but all you do is menial stuff. You're not smart. You just do the busy work, okay? So let's say you go clean out the filter system, and all that entails is going downstairs to the basement, going to a console, and pushing a button a couple times, all right? Go to take this message to so-and-so on the ship. Go talk to this person, get a piece of rock, and bring it back to another person. Like, that's the game. But as you go through the game, you're talking to all the different characters, and you're getting the lore of the universe. You know, humanity apparently was going to die out on Earth. The Earth was going to be destroyed, or it's not clear if it's going to be a world war, if it's going to be pollution or something. Like, you can't really tell. But essentially, it's the plot of Horizon Forbidden West, where a group of people who think that they can repopulate somewhere else leave Earth on a spaceship. And they travel the galaxy looking for a place, and it's like 200 years later, they crash land on a water planet, and they're stranded. They can't get off the planet. They're just stuck in this infinite orbit in the underwater planet. And they've been there for 50 years trying to propose a way to escape the planet. It's very, very almost Fallout-esque. And what I mean by that is it feels like you're living in a vault where the whole thing's run by a corporation, so it's very corporate. You have a CEO who comes on, has announcements and stuff like that. A lot of advertisements and things on the TVs. But it's also retro-esque like Fallout, where it's tube TVs and stuff like that. So you have future tech where you can fly on a spaceship across the galaxy, but you're still using tube TVs. You see what I mean? It's like Fallout, kind of. And where we had left off after 3 hours of doing all this stuff is that they are attempting to find a way to escape their orbit where they're stuck in this water planet because they're running out of energy. What they were doing is they were taking in local creatures and life, and they were converting them to make energy to keep running for 50 years. But for some odd reason, now all the life around them isn't as energizing. Like, they're taking in the same exact life samples and using them, and they're not getting as much energy out of it anymore. So this is their conundrum, and I guess the story will advance and continue where they're going to try to figure out, how do we solve this problem? What caused the local life to have less energy in it, etc., etc. In the meantime, there's quirky side plots. There's things going on in the plot that are kind of interesting. I would compare it to, like, writing from, like, a witty British show, although it's funny because a lot of the actors aren't British. A few are, but a lot are not. So it's kind of like British humor, but not with all British actors. It's a little off-putting, actually. So I enjoyed it. I played 3 hours of it. How did it do? Well, viewership was very, very odd. A lot of people showed up to check it out and see what the heck the game was. But I think once people realized, oh, this is just a narrative game where you walk around and do menial things, most of the audience left. Like, we went from over 400 viewers down to 250 by the end of the first stream. I can't make the game be something it's not. You know what I mean? I'm just playing the game and enjoying it and commenting on it, but I can't make it more interesting than it being just a narrative-based game, and that's exactly what it is, okay? Support. Well, support was outstanding, but I think that was because it was a premiere stream, and a lot of people just wanted to support the fact that it was a premiere stream. I don't necessarily think it was people coming by and saying, oh my god, Harold Halibut was great, let's support the stream. You know what I'm saying? So basically, I'll put it this way. I enjoyed it because I like narrative-based games. Would I enjoy personally seeing the game continue and seeing where the plot goes? Yes. But I don't know if that's in line with the audience. And to give you some perspective here, after I made the videos, I proposed on each video, I said, please leave comments on this video. Let me know what you think and if you want to see me continue this playthrough. I've barely got any response on the videos. And part 1 has, as of this point, has like 600, 700 views. Parts 2 and 3 don't even have 300 views. So apparently everyone checked out part 1, were like, eh, and then didn't even go to part 2 and 3. Okay? Now, here's the thing. All the time, people ask me, why don't I play more indie games? Because I'm not exaggerating. The vast majority of the time that I try indie games, they don't work. They're much like a game like Harold Halibut. It's an oddball game. It may be interesting to some, but for most part, they don't catch on. They don't get attention on this channel And I'm like, all right. So here's the thing. Originally, as we explained, this is not a playthrough I committed to. This is a game that we were just trying to see what it was. All right. I don't ever have to play it ever again. There's no commitment there. All right. This is what people have been asking for. They said we would wish that you would try more games and at least give them a shot, but you don't have to commit to every game. In this case, this is the game I would personally like to play, but it doesn't look like it jived with the audience. All right. In fact, I'm not kidding you, just to read you some messages out of the chat right now. This was boring, no offense. I'm not very interested anymore. Not really our style. The game was just okay. It's not really my style. Not my cup of tea. There we go. So there we go. Okay. So here's the deal. If that's the case, then I guess what we're going to say is, at least based on this feedback from one session of Harold Halibut, that we're probably not going to play it again. All right. Now, if I say that today, and all of a sudden there is an off-pouring of people who are like, well, we just didn't watch it yet. Now we watched it and we like it and we want it to come back. Please bring it back. Then I'll consider it. But as of now, I don't see the point in even saying that it's in the schedule when I'm not getting many people asking for it. You know what I'm saying? Luthe says it isn't fun to watch. So I just want to make this abundantly clear. All right? If this is the new attitude that we're having around here, that there will be games on Game Pass we'll try, and if we don't like them after a session, we quit. Everyone has to be okay with that. It can't be, oh, well, now you're quitting every game. Well, then I don't want to watch. I don't want to hear that. Because all the feedback I'm getting is try more games and don't commit to all of them unless they're really working with the audience. That's what I'm being told. If I do that, and then I get complaints, I'm going to get pissed off. I'm just going to be honest, because I'm trying to fix content. I'm trying to make this content entertaining and fun for you. I'm trying to do what you're asking for. But it seems like a lot of the times people just can't agree, and then I do what I'm being asked to do, and then people complain after the fact. How many people wanted me to play Baldur's Gate 3? Right? Then I played it, and everyone complained, it's too many RPGs. You're playing RPGs constantly. Right? It's like, so you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So, yeah, I think we tried it. Apparently it's not working. I like it. I would continue playing it if it were my choice, but it's not my choice. It's everyone here. You know what I'm saying? It's a community. It's me putting out streams that you want to see. It's not me just playing games for myself. It's supposed to be, we go hand in hand with this stuff, right? So then let's agree that Harold Halibut just didn't work. All right? And let's move on. And if you want to see someone play it, I'm sure there's people out there playing it. In fact, I know for a fact some people got it early and we're getting promotional copies and likely are getting paid to play it. I'm not kidding. Like, some people got it like a day or two early because my wife had said, yeah, there's other people playing Harold Halibut if you want to watch a playthrough. And I was like, oh, I am going to check it out on Tuesday. And she was like, oh, okay. Like 3 or 4 people she had seen were already playing it on YouTube like super early. And I guess because they got early copies because they're probably getting paid to play it as a promotion. I'm not doing that. I have no commitment to playing it. So there you have it. All right. So there you go. We've made the decision. And we collectively have decided Harold Halibut is a no-go. Now, again, here's the thing. If I get a wave of response now saying, oh, no, you made a bad decision, please keep playing Harold Halibut, then I'll consider it. But right now, I'm not seeing that at all. I barely got any comments on the videos. The views are pretty subpar. I mean, it's pretty bad that a random Street Fighter 6 video from last night does better than a part of a brand new game that I played yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So, I guess we've made our decision. There's nothing wrong with the game. It's a unique art style. If you like narrative-based games and you want to get hooked on an interesting story with quirky humor, you'll like the game. But I guess that's not what my audience is looking for right now. Okay? Cool. Last night, it was Street Fighter 6, and it was exclusively Blanca gameplay. Okay? Now, before we even get to talking about my gameplay and talking about my how did it go, wins and losses, what kind of matches did I get, etc., I'm going to address a topic right now because I've had enough, honestly, of people being really silly and stupid about this topic, okay? Ranked play versus casual play, all right? In Street Fighter 6, when the game first came out, all right, ranked play was essential to getting good matches in the game because there were so many people playing at so many different levels and ranks that when you went to play casual play, the game would essentially toss you right into a random mess. You would be playing people of the bronze level, and then up to platinum level, and then up to diamond level, master, but then back down to gold level, silver level, and there would be a strong discrepancy in the quality of match that you would receive, depending on if you were playing ranked versus casual. It seemed that if you really were trying to learn the game, trying to play your best and play against the better opponents, you absolutely had to play ranked play. Okay? That was when Street Fighter 6 started, and I would argue that probably persisted through the fall. All right? But then something happened. Allow me to explain what happened, okay? There was a fall off. What does that mean? This happens inevitably with every single fighting game. You reach a point that's like a plateau, and then all of a sudden what happens is certain players realize, I'm never going to do any better. I'm not having fun playing this anymore, and they just fall right off, meaning they don't play anymore. Now, the people that stay in the game are now the people who are dedicated to getting better and playing way more than just on a casual level. Do you understand? What that means is that they're going to continue to play, to study the meta, to look at videos online, to go to tournaments and watch tournament footage and streams. They are going to try to improve every single moment that they get, and most of them are only playing Street Fighter 6 as their fighting game. They're not juggling 3-4 fighters. They're not juggling other games. They just play Street Fighter 6. This is their thing, okay? That's typical FGC behavior, fighting game community behavior. There's nothing wrong with it, all right? That's legit what happens when you get a vibrant and healthy fighting game. After about 6 months or so, you get a giant drop-off in player base, and then you get the consistent people who stick around and want to keep playing and getting better. Fair enough? So what happens when that happens is you get a dramatic change to the player base. For example, when I was playing casual play early on, I was getting such a wide gamut of skill levels. Like I said, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, you know, and then into master. Like, this was common. You would see all those different levels represented in casual play. Now, when I go to play casual play, the vast majority of matches that I get are master rank. And even more interestingly than this, I get to play master rank people that are basically higher ranked than me. All right? There you go. And that's good. That's a good thing. You know, I have not, for those who don't know, they hit the reset button on ranked matches about a month ago. So any rank you were at, it was hit reset and you start over. It was kind of like, okay, we're all starting from square one from the beginning of ranked again. So for me, I would have started all of my characters that are in master at the 1500 point at master rank. Okay. So that's where I would start, just reset and then see how I do. If you win a match, you win points. You lose a match, you lose points. But when I'm playing casual play, I'm playing people who are at 1600 or more points. I wouldn't play them. If I was doing ranked right now, they would literally give me bottom of the barrel because I haven't played it all. I'd be playing people at 1300 points, you know, people who are barely getting any wins. These are the people who I like to call the tryhards. So what does that mean? These people are people who only got to master rank because they played so much that statistically they were going to gain enough points to get there. They're not good. They're scrubs. Okay, understand that. Now, that's not shit-talking them. That's being factual. These people don't understand fighting game mechanics. They don't understand fundamentals. All they've learned is online patterns. Meaning, oh, I'm Ken, and if I do this flowchart over and over, 6 times out of 10, I might win a match. Unless I play someone good, then I get completely bodied, right? The problem is, the flowcharts work way better online, especially when their connections are bad. Well, guess what? These people's connections are bad. So you go to play them, and they're doing their flowchart, and you just can't do anything you want to do. Your inputs drop. You can't block. Like, what is this crap? This isn't really a competitive game, but this is how they play it, all right? Those are the people who are at the lower ranks of master right now, okay? So if you hit ranked, and you just start off in ranked, you're going to end up playing tons of those people who just, the game is horrible. It's not fun to play. You got to play it in a weird freaking way that's not competitive to try to get around their flowchart pattern bullshit because their connections suck shit. Okay? So, there you go. That's where ranked is right now. Now, if you can push your way through those lower ranks and get to, say, 1600, 1700 ranking points, master points, then you're going to play better players. I can confirm this because some of the players I've played at that level are very good. I played an Ed who whooped my ass. Even last night there was a Jamie who was like 1600, dude, he was good. And I was like, these are great matches. I'm having a really good time because I'm getting to learn. The problem is the only way you will consistently fight people at that level is to play the game constantly. I will repeat that. The only way to play people at that level in ranked is to play the game constantly, not play it for Friday night fights and one other night a week for 4 hours total. This would have to be, I'm playing it 3, 4, 5 times a week, 3-hour sessions in order to hang at that level. And by the way, play only one character. I want to emphasize that too. Not switch between 5 characters and go around. I'd have to play the same character over and over, nonstop, ad nauseum, repetition, on ranked to stay at that level. The vast majority of feedback that I've gotten is you don't want that. You want variety. You want me to be alternating between my characters. You want to see different gameplay rather than the same character nonstop. Correct? So, with all that being said, all right, the best way right now that it seems to play Street Fighter 6 is actually casual play. This is allowing me to play better players and a wider selection of players rather than the same scrubs who will play exactly the same laggy way and me just being stuck at the bottom rungs of Master because I don't play enough to overcome the bullshit. Okay? But what's funny is this certain group of people keep coming in. Oh, he's still not playing ranked. Well, casual play sucks. Did you watch the gameplay? You didn't. You're just a whining idiot who wants to come in and complain about everything. Okay? It's really fucking stupid. If you watch the matches, you'll see, no exaggeration, last night playing casual play for 2.5 hours, I think I played 3 people that weren't Master. 3! And most people who I played at Master were either 1,500 points or way above. So I ended up getting really, really good matchups. They were fun. They were close. They were back and forth, interesting matchups. This wasn't, oh, Phil is spanking everyone because he's playing casual. Admittedly, that's what it used to be like. But casual play has completely changed in this game. It's not what people think it was, okay? So, basically, if you're saying, I only like ranked is better, why? Justify what you're saying, because it makes no fucking sense. Right now, ranked is exactly what I just described. All of the tryhards who play the shit out of the game, you have to get past this grouping of laggy pattern scrubs to get to good players, which would entail you need to play this game a ton to do that. I don't do that. I play it twice a week. So if you want to see Street Fighter 6, you got to accept the fact that there are better ways to play it now and not be in this mentality of, oh, try hard ranked. It's stupid. It doesn't even make any fucking sense. There's no factual justification for saying ranked is better. Right now, it's not. Unless you're a hardcore player, ranked is not better. Okay? It's just, you're full of shit. There's no way to justify it. Okay? There's nothing on the line when you're playing ranked. The ranks mean nothing. Everyone got to Master by playing, mashing. More people are in Master than Diamond. Are you aware of that? More people are in Master than Diamond. Does that make any sense? It doesn't make any sense at all what you're saying if you say that ranked is better. There's no difference besides I actually play better players in casual. What's on the line? Nothing. Worthless ranking points that mean nothing. If I'm getting better matchups playing casual, why would I play ranked? Unless I'm an idiot who just wants to appease certain people who say, haha, when he loses points. Look how low his points are. Fuck you. No one cares. You're a loser. It's fucking stupid mentality. No one cares about that shit. I'm actually having a good time with what I'm doing right now with Street Fighter 6. Okay? I want to play more, and I think what I'm going to do is simply focus on the 5 characters who I use, and I'm going to keep playing them in a rotation so that I can get better. All right? I think I actually want to play again with Blanca on Friday. And I wanted, again, it's going to be casual play, but I'm actually getting a lot of fun playing the casual matches because I get to play better players. I'm playing people 1,600, 1,700 ranking points, and I'm learning higher matchups. Like, I'm seeing that Jamie do cool stuff yesterday. I'm like, damn, those players are good. They have this flow. That's what I was calling it, this flow. Oh, there's also a really good Rashid I played, like, first match. They have this flow where they've learned a sequence of things they can do that almost seem like it's a non-stop pattern, but what it is, it's a bait system. So they'll do a move, and they know that they've recovered, and they have some options. So they wait, and then they just toss something out. It'll be a hit, or a low hit, or a throw, or a mix-up, or, and it's neat. to see that. I would not see that if I played ranked. I'd be seeing the same scrubs playing fucking Ken and Luke and mashing buttons and doing stuff with their shit connections. It's not going to be fun. So when I play again on Friday, it's going to be Friday Night Fights with Blanca again. It's going to be casual play again. And then after that, I'll probably mix it up again. Now, who do I want to use after that? You know, I would say Lily, because if we're going in order, I played Blanco, Lily, Zangief, Dalsim, Honda, right? So Lily would be next, but I don't know. It just seems to me like Lily at this point seems to be a lost cause. Not to say that I don't like using her, because I absolutely like her. But she just doesn't seem like she can hang at all. That's why we never see Lilies online. No one uses her, because she just is too weak. It sucks that they have a character that literally has kind of like placed herself out of the game, but it's disappointing because I like the character and I like the build. It's like the modern T-Hawk, and then she stinks just like T-Hawk did back in the day in old school Street Fighter. What did they do that for, right? So hopefully, out of all the characters in the game, of the one that they need to buff, it's got to be Lily. She's got to get buffs in Season 2. If not, they might as well just remove her from the roster, because it's just a wasted spot at this point, you know? So will I use her again? I don't know. I would like to, but I don't think I'm going to have much success. I think even playing, I'll be honest, playing with Zangief, I think I'll be more successful. And I think I want to play more with Zangief to try to get better with him. If anything, the one character I might consider playing ranked with is Zangief. Why? I never got Zangief to master, and if they hit the reset button, it means that I have something potentially that I can get to master. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could play him and get him to master at least. So I might do that. I might actually play Zangief ranked at some point and try to get him to master. That could be a challenge, all right? But outside of that, I feel like once you hit master, you might as well just hit casual play and just have fun in that way. And I think that's how I'm going to approach it. Now, keep in mind, Akuma is supposed to be coming out before Season 2 hits, but we have no time frame for that or Season 2, so it's like, I guess we'll see what happens, and go from there. But I'm going to continue to play it probably 1 to 2 times a week. Okay? Cool. All right. So that was last night. So by the way, how did I do last night? Do you want to know the truth? I broke even. I had 26 wins and 25 losses. Now you can argue, well, that means you suck. But if you take a look at some of the matchups, they were incredibly close matchups. Like I said, most players were in Master, and it's hilarious because some people were definitely smurfing. I played a bronze JP that knew all the tactics of a top tier JP, including like a 60% punish combo. And I was like, yeah, this is a bronze JP my ass. This is obviously someone who's on someone else's account, right? And there was an Ed. Again, every time I fight an Ed, I try to fight the Ed as much as I can because I'm trying to absorb knowledge of Ed. And at this point, I'm really stumped as what you're supposed to do with Blanca against Ed. Every single move Blanca has gets stuffed by Ed. Like, literally every move gets stuffed. And I'm like, man, I'm not really sure how to stop him right now. But I played the Ed, again, probably like 5 to 10 times, and I lost most of those matches. So you might say, oh, it's 26 and 25, but if I didn't constant rematch the Ed and lose 10 times, it probably would have been a better ratio. Truth is, I don't care. The ratio doesn't really matter at this point. It's just that I'm getting better, and I am. Like gameplay last night, I'm excited with Blanca now because I am using things that I never used to use. I'm using mid-screen tech to basically get people trapped into patterns and then catching them with combos, and then I can cancel into stuff. I can cancel light kick into electricity, and I can do various things off of that, like level 3 or level 2. Last night, for the first time ever since the game came out, I started using level 2 super with Blanca, and I was doing it and comboing with it, and it was useful, and it was working. I was like, what? I definitely am happy I finally learned it. I don't know what took me so long, but I learned it. I was like, oh, level 2 super is good. It basically gets the person into kind of being afraid and locking them down a bit, and it's being really neat. I'm happy that I'm starting to learn it now. It's giving me more options in my gameplay, and I'm sure the more I use it, the better it's going to get. So, Blanca last night, even though I broke even, actually was a really good learning experience. I hope you'll check out the videos. More coming Friday. Okay? Cool. Now let's get to the schedule. Today it is more Elden Ring. And you, the viewers, live here on the stream, you are going to determine what order I play today. And what I mean by that is we're at a point in Elden Ring where basically we have to choose what direction to go and what to do. And we have 3 options. Option number 1, the Bloody Lake and the Blood Palace and fighting the true form of Moog. That's number 1, and that's essential that we need to do to get to the DLC. Number 2, returning to the Mountaintop of the Giants, continuing on that way, fighting the flame giant, and then unlocking Farum Azula, and then doing all of Farum Azula, which in itself is a long dungeon with tons of boss fights and things like that, right? There you go. Or number 3, returning back to the northern frozen wasteland, taking out all the optional content there. There is some big optional content there. Unlocking the path to the Haley tree, and of course, we've got the Haley tree. So that's 3 completely different options, right? And we got to figure out what to do, and I need your feedback. So I think what we're going to do is when we boot up Elden Ring, I'm going to do a poll, and you guys will vote on the 3 options. Blood Palace area, Mountaintop of Giants, Farum Azula, or Northern Wastes, Haley Tree unlocking. Okay? So, and we'll see what you want, and we'll go from there. Any one of those is very challenging and should be fun to watch and play. So we'll see what you want, and we'll go from there. Tonight on the late stream, we are doing something completely different. Something I've never done before. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight on DSP Reacts, my React channel, that's youtube.com/@DSP Reacts, at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, we're going to do my first ever interactive review. All right? What does that mean? It means that I'm going to be on the channel streaming, and I am going to be talking about the TV show Fallout, which just released a week ago on Prime Video. I finished watching it with my wife a few nights ago, and I want to talk about it. But the thing is, if I talk about it here, I will spoil it. I don't want to spoil the show for those who haven't seen it. So this is going to be a stream exclusively for those who have seen the show and want to show up and hang out and interact with me. Number 1, I'm going to give you my overall thoughts about the plot elements, the show, the acting, the environment, everything, the directing, the story. I want to give you a full insight into my thoughts about the show. Then what I'd like to do is compare the lore of the show to the lore of the games and potentially discuss how things changed and other things in the lore. I want to discuss Todd Howard's comments about how it's canon to the games when literally it cannot be. Okay? It literally cannot be canon to the games. So I don't care what Todd Howard said. He's an idiot. All right? And many other things. I'm sure what's going to happen is we're all going to have a lot of different opinions on the show and things to say, right? That's the whole point of the stream. Instead of it just be me talking to a camera for a half an hour or 40 minutes giving you a review and then it turns off. And if you want to speak, leave a comment, right? Instead, I want to have that discussion live with all of you who have seen the show, okay? So if you've seen it, if you're interested in hanging out and having a good time with me and having an interactive discussion, please head over to DSP Reacts later tonight. If this does well, then I will consider doing this for future things. Not only TV shows, but maybe movies, maybe video games. Maybe I can do a big review stream for a video game. And not only do I review the game, but then we talk back and forth about what we liked and didn't like about the game and things, improvement and how it will continue in the future. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. It should be a really cool experience that could lead to a series, an interactive review series on DSP Reacts. Keep in mind, I've been saying recently, I'm looking for other content to put on that channel other than just the React show once a week where I do clips on DSP versus the internet. Now, I fully understand that many of you probably have not seen the show, or maybe you're in the midst of watching it and haven't finished. Do not attend tonight's stream. It is going to be tons of spoilers, all right? We're going to talk about all the different elements of the show and its plot. So you do not want to be spoiled on the show if you haven't seen it yet, okay? But the good news is I'm going to record it. It'll be on demand. You'll be able to watch it after the fact, so that way you don't have to watch it now. You can watch it in a week or two when you finish the show, or hell, in 6 months if you get access to the show. Then you could go watch the interactive review after the fact, and you should still enjoy it just as much as if you were there live, okay? So this is a new thing. I'm curious. Who's going to show up? Will people engage? Will people support? Will people like this idea? Or is this another idea that I tried and it doesn't work? I don't know. But I want to try something new. Let's see how it goes tonight. I hope you will join me for that on tonight's late stream. Okay? Cool. Is it possible to have a stream overlay that says spoilers to alert new viewers? I think what I'll do is in the title, it'll be Fallout TV series interactive review, spoiler alert. So that way people will know there's spoilers on the stream. There's no excuse if you join the stream. Oh, I didn't know there were spoilers. It says right in the title. If you can't read the title, then it's not my problem, right? There you go. Okay, that's tonight. Tomorrow, I'm off from streaming. I'll have I'd like to say I'm going to have a more relaxed and chill day because we're not going out to do a bunch of stuff all day, but I have a bunch of errands to do tomorrow. Like, basically, it's all the stuff that's accumulated to do. So I'm going to have a day where half the day I'm out running errands. It's going to be, I don't want to say it's frustrating. It's just, if we're having a day at home, I would love to stay home for most of the day and spend time with my wife. And when I'm out half the day, you know, got to go to the dump, got to go grocery shopping. I got to return a product at a store. I got to go to the pet store. I got to go, you know, running around for 3-4 hours on a day that I should be at home relaxing with my wife. But that's what happens when you only get one day off a week, right? So that's my day tomorrow. When I come back on Friday, it's going to be Helldivers 2 and Street Fighter 6 Friday Night Fights. Then on Saturday, it's going to be more Elden Ring. And Saturday night, it will be the premiere of the Beyond Two Souls co-op with my wife, Kat, on the late stream. It's definitely happening this Saturday night. Again, unless some extenuating circumstances happen, which hopefully nothing will, we're going to begin our co-op on Saturday night, okay? Obviously, Sunday's React Day, and we continue on with that schedule. Now, the next new game that I'm going to try is called Another Crab's Treasure. This is coming out, I believe, on the 25th of the month, but I think that's not my next day off. So probably it's a week from this Friday. We'll try out that game. It's supposed to be, get this, a Soulsborne-style game starring a crab, a hermit crab. And you're underwater fighting things in a Soulsborne, area. You know what I'm saying? So it should be interesting to see how that goes. And if it's good, maybe I'll keep it in the rotation. Maybe it'll be another Harold Halibut. What is it with all these undersea-themed games this month? Harold Halibut, Another Crab's Treasure. Is there a Finding Nemo game coming out this month? Like, what is going on? I don't understand the pattern here. But, yeah, so we'll try it. Now, here's the other thing. And this is completely out of left field. I wasn't expecting this. You may notice I have a new border today, right? Take a look at the border. Take a look at all the stuff around the edges of the stream. So, Fallout Mania is currently hitting the internet because the TV show is successful. It did well. It looks like they've greenlit a second season already for Prime Video. Everyone is excited for Fallout. And Fallout 4 is getting a modern-day upgrade on the 25th, including improved visuals, better frame rate, and that's about it. It's really the same exact game, except it's going to run better on modern consoles. Particularly on the Series X, supposedly, it's going to be optimized, okay? Surprisingly enough, people are now asking me, am I going to play Fallout 4? And I'm like, wait a minute. We literally agreed together, right? That you guys did not want RPGs right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you said RPG overload is too much. But then again, Fallout 4 isn't necessarily an RPG in the style of what we were talking about. If you take a look at a game like Baldur's Gate 3, or Like a Dragon, or Final Fantasy 7 for that matter, those are more traditional, slower-paced, turn-based, you know what I'm saying? Fallout 4 essentially is a shooter with VATS, with some RPG elements thrown in. It's definitely not a traditional style RPG, so to speak. And again, I'm getting requests for it. You know what I'm saying? People are saying they want it. I'm considering it, but that's up to you. Remember, we're going to try this Another Crab's Treasure game on the 26th as well. So what I would say is think about it and see if you're interested in it or not. If that's the case, what could end up happening is day streams could be Elden Ring and Fallout 4, and night streams could be Helldivers 2 and Street Fighter 6 with some variety tossed in for the React days or the co-op with my wife. And we could do that for the foreseeable future. FYI, there is nothing whatsoever going on in May, I believe, until like the 3rd week. Let me take a look at my schedule that we did back on my birthday. Yeah, there is literally nothing going on in May till the 21st. Then we've got Hellblade 2, System Shock Remake, Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. At the end of the month, we got Multiverses re-releasing. So we've got 3 weeks in May. 3 freaking weeks to do whatever we want. And yes, we could do Fallout 4 if that's what you wanted. All right, but only if that's what you wanted. The other thing is, we don't have to commit to it either, because it's a Game Pass game. I've already played it. If we start playing it and we do it for a week and it's good, and then when I play it, we're tired of it, or, forget this, we don't have to keep playing it. We can do something else. So really, that's the attitude, again, I want to take, but I need you guys to buy into this. that if this is the case, we're going to try stuff. If it works and sticks, we keep going. If it doesn't work and stick, we drop it, and you're okay with that. That's where we have to be. And sadly, I think so many people are just so set with me every time I play a game, 100%ing it, completing it. And that's just a mentality that I think has to change, I don't think that every game is always going to work. I'm not even aware of other streamers or content creators that whenever they start playing a game, they always finish it, right? It's actually a rarity to find that. Lots of content creators will play a game, see how well it's doing, and judge if they continue it based on how well it's doing, So, let's see what you want. Let's test it. Let's test the waters, okay? Darth Hobbit, I mean everything. He says, what do you mean if it works and sticks? I mean, if people show up to the streams, people watch the videos, people engage on the streams and enjoy them rather than sitting around saying they're bored, and people support the streams. It's all of those things going hand in hand. That's what's going to determine if a game sticks and stays in the rotation or not. It needs to be the combination of things that work. It has to be entertaining. It has to have people who want it. It has demand. I have to be liking it. You have to be liking it. Yes, it actually has to make some money because this is a business, like everything. It has to be a little combination of everything. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to at least fit together. Okay? Pizza Box Gaming, he says, your voice is kind of cutting in and out. Is it? I don't see that on the mic settings here. It looks like my voice is registering. I don't know what would have changed to be causing that. I'm looking at my filters right now. I haven't changed them at all. We have noise gain, noise suppression, and limiter. Some people are saying it's totally fine. Spagonito says, no, it's working for me. When I lean back... Okay, hold on. Let's test this. So now I'm talking right now, and this is normal. Now, when I lean back, is it cutting out my voice right now, or can you still hear me? Because now I'm literally leaned all the way back. Can you guys hear me? All right. And now here's another test, too. This is an important test. I'm now facing the television as if I were playing a video game. Can you hear me now, and how does it sound? It's good? The vast majority of people are saying it's fine. So, I'm not sure what else I could do. Okay. Anyway, so, that's what's going on right now. This week, we got Elden Ring continuing. Some Helldivers continuing. Street Fighter continuing. Call with My Wife beginning. All right? In a little over a week's time, we're going to try another Crab's Treasure. And then, there's a possibility of bringing Fallout 4 into the mix with its new version coming out for Xbox Series X. And testing it. And seeing if you guys want it or not. Right now, Fallout is hot. Everyone says they're going to be playing Fallout 4 when it comes out on the 25th, the new version. So it's probably a good time for me to start it if I were. And by the way, it's been 9 years. Yes, it's actually been 9 years since Fallout 4. I haven't played it since it released. And what a difference my content is now. I mean, take a look at me back then versus now. My entire life is different. My content is different. My everything is so different. So it could be a very interesting interactive stream, the likes of which we haven't done with that game, right? So, all right, let me know what you think. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for everyone's favorite segment, DSP News. And I have a few stories today, not too many, but I'd like to cover a few. Number one, Alone in the Dark, which I literally just finished playing on Monday night, 16-hour playthrough for both sides, by the way, has had a giant price drop already. The game hasn't even been out for a month. Originally, it was $59.99 or $60 USD. The game's price overnight dropped to $39.99 on Amazon and at Best Buy, with likely prices everywhere else going to drop too. Usually when that happens, Walmart and everywhere else drops too. So a lot of people during the playthrough were like, oh, this isn't that bad, but it's just not worth $60. Well, guess what? Now it's 40. So I'm just throwing that out there. If you're interested in possibly getting it because you were waiting for a price drop, the price drop has already happened. Okay? We have, sadly, a news story, the likes of which we're hearing more and more about these days, but we don't want to hear. It's bad news for the games industry. Take-Two Interactive is having layoffs. Take-Two Interactive, for those who don't know, the company that owns things like 2K, Rockstar, and other divisions. Okay? A 5%. Oh, here we go. Let me read it word for word. This is from The Verge, by the way. I'm just reading an article from The Verge just to give proper credit here. Take-Two Interactive, the gaming company behind franchises like Grand Theft Auto, NBA 2K, and BioShock, has announced cost-cutting measures that will lay off approximately 5% of its global workforce and scrap several projects that are already in development. The company said in an SEC filing published on Tuesday, it is streamlining its organizational structure, which will eliminate headcount and which will reduce future hiring needs. Take-Two says it will incur charges of up to $200 million to enact its cost reduction program, which aims to save the company over $165 million per year. So they're spending $200 million to save $165 million per year. So after 2 years, it'll pay off. The downsizing efforts are expected to be largely complete by December 31st, 2024. A 5% workforce reduction works out to around 579 of the 11,580 employees that Take-Two disclosed in its latest impact report. The company hasn't specified which teams will be affected, which projects will be dropped, but Grand Theft Auto 6, the highly anticipated and expected to launch next year game, is likely to be ineffective. And it says this is just another blow to the industry. There's been mass layoffs across the industry since 2023, but interestingly enough, Take-Two is in the process of purchasing Borderlands developer Gearbox from Embracer Group. We were just talking about this a few weeks ago, that Gearbox and all of its games, including not only Borderlands, but Duke Nukem and other franchises, that they're all going over to Take-Two, but now they're laying off 5% of their workforce. And it's like, it's just such mixed messages. Microsoft is buying Activision Blizzard, then lays off an insane amount of employees. Take-Two is buying Gearbox and then lays off employees. Like, how does that work? If you're doing well enough that you can invest in growth, why do you then cut back? What is this corporate strategy? Because again, in the case of Microsoft, all right, when Phil Spencer was literally directly asked, what is going on? He said, well, right now, gaming is not growing. Gaming is stagnant. And because of that, we need to be profitable somehow. So we have to lay off employees. Again, I want you to understand the CEO of one of the major game developers of the world is saying to make money, we need to get rid of employees. He's the head of the company. He's in charge of the ship. He's the one that should be making them profitable. And because he's doing a bad job, he has to lay off employees, and he's okay with that. So if you want my opinion, here's what's happened. Gaming had a giant boom during the pandemic. Everyone was stuck at home, so everyone started staying at home playing video games constantly, right? At that point, all these game companies decided they were going to invest in the same style of game. They were looking for a game that was going to be a long-term profitable game. Games as a service, microtransactions out the butt, correct? This is what they all wanted. This is the model that they thought was going to 100% succeed and save gaming. When you say save gaming, what it means is line their pockets with money. They all wanted to be GTA Online. So every single company started developing those games. And what happened? Pandemic ended, the bubble burst, and games as a service are failing. Most games as a service games are not doing well. It's rare to find a model that's still working. Now, the Ultimate Teams kind of shit is still working. GTA Online is still working, right? Fortnite with a bunch of microtransactions for children, because that's all it is. It's a children's game now. It's still working. But most other games that tried to jump into the space since the pandemic have failed. So what ended up happening was they all overgrew. Let's have a bunch of studios here. Make this, make this, make this, make this. Oh, shit. The bubble burst. No one's going to buy that shit anymore. What do? Guess what? Lay people off because it's their own fault. It's their own misguided management, their own very misguided direction for their company. They never should have had all of their eggs in one basket like that, that the future would be these games as a service. And they all tried it. Every one of these major developers said, we're going to do it. And then, oh shit, it doesn't work. It's failing. We fucked up. So when it's funny because they're saying we're laying off 500 employees and we're canceling a bunch of games in development. What games? Are you even aware of a ton of games Take-Two is making right now? No, you want to know what it was? Games we don't know of. Because they were going to probably be that kind of game. And now they realized it ain't going to work. So they're just canceling it all. You know what I'm saying? And I really think that's the case. So It sucks. If you're part of Take-Two, one of the biggest game companies in the world, and you're losing your job because the management don't know how to run the company, that sucks. You didn't do anything wrong. You worked your ass off. You busted your butt. You put in your hours. You made the games they asked you to. And now you're losing your job because some dumb fuck who's rich as shit, fails upwards, has a fucking golden parachute no matter what happens, screwed up and decided to put the company in the wrong direction. And now you suffer because of it. What kind of a world is that? Why do they not suffer, right? Why don't the people who make the bad decisions actually suffer as a result of the bad decision? Corporations aren't set up like that. They're not. They're just not. They're set up that the people up there are always protected and the people under are the ones who always have to get hurt. It's pretty messed up how that structure works. Anyway, this is just absolutely ridiculous that it's like that. Because, again, you would think if you're the biggest company doing the best, we know Take-Two is rolling in dough. GTA Online is the most profitable game in the world. Why are they cutting jobs? Right? Anyway, that sucks. One more story. This is from Games Radar for the record. Despite the Fallout TV show's success, Bethesda veteran says not to expect Fallout 5 anytime soon. We need time to make great stuff. First of all, we knew this, right? We absolutely knew that they weren't going to be making a new Fallout game because they're working on Elder Scrolls 6, which they've apparently been working on for a decade and have zero progress, right? They have nothing to show for it at all, or else they would show us. So, after the insane flop that is Starfield, and I will officially say that that game is a huge flop. You know Bethesda was planning on that game to be a ginormous sales success, and the fact that no one talks about it and no one has reported sales numbers means something. It means the game sucked and flopped and did horribly, okay? And rightly so. It's an uninspired, trite waste of time. It's a joke that they thought that that game was actually going to be a good one with what they put out. Anyway, so with this game in development, apparently all their eggs are in this next basket. It's funny because all their eggs were in the basket of Starfield. It came out, right? So now all their eggs are in the basket of Elder Scrolls 6. But what about Fallout? You have an awesome TV show that just came out. Everyone wants to play Fallout. Oh, well, we can't make that game. Why? Because we're making Elder Scrolls. Do you understand your game development model doesn't work? It doesn't work. You can't make one game every 10 years and plan that people are going to think that it's the best game ever. Your last major game was Fallout 4. Fallout 76 doesn't even fucking count. Even though, yes, there's a player base for it, it's not anywhere near as big as they had hoped. The game is not that good, all right? They need to stop with their bullshit for a while and say, we need to start making good games again. And if that means they need to license out their IPs to studios that know what they're doing, like Obsidian, then that's what the fuck they need to do. Remember, Obsidian offered to make them an interim Elder Scrolls game. And they declined and said, no, we don't want to do that. But we made New Vegas. It was hyper popular. No, forget it. No, we're just going to do it ourselves. It's dumb. You know? It's just, what the fuck? People right now are clamoring for Fallout content, and all they have is a 9-year-old game, a 15-year-old game, a 16 or 17-year-old game. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have old games to play. Or they can play Fallout 76, which is online only. You know, games as a service. They don't have anything new to play at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, they need something. They need something. And they have nothing. Just old stuff. You know, our best offering is to release the update to Fallout 4, a 9-year-old game. And it's like, that's not a good idea. It's not a solution. That's not even a suggestion. You know, they should have had something in the pipeline. Why on earth would they have done it that way? I'm actually at a loss. Why would they have done it that way? That they released the TV show with nothing to offer at the time the TV show releases. So if it's a hit, they literally don't benefit. Wow, that was genius, right? At least you could say, when the Halo TV show hit, as little as it had to do with Halo, Halo Infinite was out at the time. You could go get Halo Infinite, and it was relatively new, right? When The Last of Us TV show came out, yeah, The Last of Us and The Last of Us 2 and the new versions. So at least you had something to buy and enjoy if you liked the TV show. Not a 9-year-old game. It doesn't make sense. It's like they have no strategy at all over there. It's like they're just flubbing about in the breeze. Like ever seen that video, the viral video online of the plastic bag that just flutters about in the breeze? Just, it looks like it's alive, but it has no direction. That's basically, you know, that's Bethesda. They had no direction, no cares in the world. Just let the bag blow. That's not a company. What kind of a company do they operate over there? I'm at a loss, man. All right. Anyway, that's gaming news for today, everybody. That is not what I wanted to click. Whoops. That's the gaming news for today. Hope you enjoyed the segment. So it's time for shoutouts. First shout out of the day goes to Luthace, who gifted 5 memberships to the community this morning. So congratulations to the following people: Dreadlocks Rasta SS, Stealthy Kupo, Blue Cat 1163, Shea, and Sergey Neverez. Congratulations to all of you. Outside of that, we have nothing to shout out as of now. No super chats, no tips. So if something comes in to shout out, I will shout it out. But as of now, we got nothing. All right. So what I will do is open up the chat. And let's see if you guys want to do some Q&A, what you guys want to talk about this morning. You know, as usual. And if anything comes in, I will shout it out. Okay? Cool. So what would you guys like to discuss this lovely Wednesday? A bunch of emotes. Crickets. Crickets. In the chat. Crickets. No one wants to talk. Everyone's bored. What's up, Just Clunker? How you doing? Crickets! No one wants to speak today? You have nothing to say. Your minds are addled. Your minds have been addled. What happened? The Mind Flayers were defeated. Walk Warrior says, Fallout 76 got much better. I'd love to see you give it a go. At this point, though, let's be honest, though, okay? At this point, do you really think that Fallout 76 would work for me? Fallout 76 is a game that probably it's good if you've invested in it and you've played it for a long time. Do I want to jump in at ground level this many years later? Remember, I did. Remember, there was one E3 where it was free. It was just like the spring after it had been released that fall, and the game was just utter dog shit. It played horribly. It was not fun. You know, it was buggy as shit, and I was like, I don't want to ever play this again. This is a stupid game. Now, maybe it has improved over the years, but again, is this the kind of game that you would enjoy if you've already been playing it? You're immersed in the lore. You're with the community of people who play it versus I'm just going to jump into it now so many years after the fact. I don't know. I'm not convinced. Plus, it's an MMO. And MMOs don't really work for me, as you know. Online gameplay where people have potential to be trolls and shit. You know, it doesn't usually work. That's what I said. Fallout 4, game I haven't played in 9 years. I don't remember much of it because I haven't played it in 9 years. You know, to jump back into that might be kind of fun. I don't think that that's going to work, though, for 76. Just being honest. No, I didn't know that 2K's making a new Mafia. I didn't hear that. I didn't see anything about that. You could play it solo? How can you play it solo? How is that even possible? Back in the day, there were no NPCs. Remember? So they've completely redone the game to be a solo game now. You have to go on a private server? How the hell do you do that? How in the holy hell would you do that? You could just set up a private server? They allow that? There's a story now and there's actually NPCs? Wow, so they just totally changed the game, huh? Like, literally from the ground up, it's different now? Oh, wait a minute. Isn't it subscription-based? Don't you have to pay for it, right? It's not free, right? You actually have to... Oh, what am I doing? I would look at it on Xbox, not PlayStation. You have to pay for a subscription fee, correct? I didn't even think about that because it's been so long since I played an MMO. I didn't even think about something like that. It's free to play. They don't charge you to play it. It's free to play if there's a premium sub, and that's what includes the solo play. So you do need to pay for the premium sub in order to get it, huh? The Blimp just did a super chat. He says, I want to wish you luck. There's a really cool concept reviewing a topic live like that. Here's a bit of support. Hope you have a great day and cheers, a day off, and cheers for streaming week. Thank you, the Blimp. I have to find the leaderboard. Where the hell is it? Where the hell is the leaderboard? There it is. First super chat of the day. Thank you to the Blimp. I received a $20 tip from 1 Minute Man. Thank you very much, 1 Minute Man. Let's see what he has to say. Here we go. Oh my God. There we go. Did it work? Big delay. All right. 1 Minute Man, thank you for the tip. Let's see what he has to say. Ah. Hi, Phil. If you didn't notice, I wasn't here yesterday. Harold Halibut isn't my type of game. The graphical style points to a young age group, as with Crab's Treasure. Maybe you could try Chicken Police Paint It Red. It's a silly but funny game. It's $20. On to a more serious matter. At the conclusion of Alone in the Dark with Emily, you were surprised you could get Grace's ending. You said, I didn't know we could do this, but I told you 8 hours earlier on the stream you could get Grace's ending. Yes, but remember, I said to you, I looked it up, and in the guide that I had looked up, which I think was IGN, but I could be wrong, it was insinuating you could only get that ending with Carnby. That's what I said to you, and I responded to your tip. Maybe you don't hear the tip responses right away, but I said right there, I said, but it said in the guide only Carnby. So the guide was mistaken. The way the guide was written, it seemed like Carnby only could activate it. And it also seemed like you do it earlier in the game, but I guess not. So, anyway. Okay, so anyway, thank you, 1 Minute Man. And yes, it was actually funny yesterday. 1 Minute Man wasn't here. And I guess because he just didn't like the game. He wasn't interested in it. And he didn't do his daily contribution. And then people started freaking out. And then we actually had someone who contributed and pretended to be 1 Minute Man. But they spelled his name wrong. So we knew it wasn't him. I'm pretty sure after all these years of daily contributions, 1 Minute Man remembers how to spell his own name. Right? So we knew it wasn't him. But it was kind of funny, though. Shout out to Lucky Gremlin, an Ultra member. Popping his Ultra membership here. He says, I think Fallout 76 would be a change of pace. I've been gone for a few weeks for work. I'm glad to be back. I'm enjoying Street Fighter 6 last night. Is there any plans to try out Ed? You know, I'll be honest, probably not at this point. Only because to play Ed, it's going to take an investment. And what I mean by that is I would have to go into training mode, learn all his moves, do all his trials, then go into casual, learn stuff slowly again. And basically, unless it's a character I'm really interested in, I don't think it's something that I should do. Like, for example, with Akuma, yeah, I actually do want to do that with Akuma. I think Akuma is a staple character of Street Fighter. I want to see how he plays in this one, because let's be honest, Ryu and Ken play very different. So you would think Akuma probably also will play very different in this one, right? So Akuma, I'm interested in. Ed, not really. Ed is just kind of like, I didn't play Street Fighter 5 when Ed was in there. I'm not interested in his redesign in this. I'm interested in learning his moves to counter him. I'm not really interested in learning him as a character I want to play with, okay? So there you go. But I'm happy you're liking Street Fighter 6. As for Fallout 76, I don't know. You guys tell me if you think it's viable or there's a way to do it. I'm being told you have to buy a premium pass to play the game solo. I don't know if I want to do that. Like, Fallout 4 is on Game Pass. I can just play it right now with the upgrade, which is what people seem to want. They want to see the upgrade. And I'm not saying that Fallout 4 will work as a long-time playthrough. Maybe we just do a couple streams of it, right? But again, the new attitude. Try stuff. See if it works. See if it sticks. If it works and sticks, I keep playing it. If it doesn't work or stick, I don't do it, right? And that's okay. That's a better attitude than every single game I select must be committed to as a long-term playthrough no matter what, right? Okay. I received a $3 tip. Ugly Tuna Roll. You're playing Fallout 4 would be awesome. I didn't watch your first playthrough. I was playing it at the same time. I imagine most did back then. Whatever the people decide, cheers and have a lovely day. Oh, I can tell you what happened. I totally remember. I started playing it, and I liked it a lot. I was totally into it because it was like a modern version of Fallout. But a lot of people didn't like the modernizations. Number one, they felt that the game was too easy because it removed some of the RPG elements and made it more of a shooter rather than a game that was based on RPG stats. It became too simplistic. A lot of people absolutely hated the base management stuff, including me. And basically, I feel like I liked it more than my audience. I particularly remember halfway through playing it, people were complaining that they didn't like it. But here's the thing. This is a different situation. I am an interactive streamer now. Back then, I was not. Back then, in 2015, when the game came out, I literally ignored the audience 9 times out of 10. Every once in a while, I'd have a little interaction with someone in the audience. It was mostly me just playing a game for the sake of playing it for myself, ignoring the audience and acting like I'm just on a couch playing it solo with that style of commentary. Yes, it was still the constant blah, blah, blah commentary over the gameplay and stuff. Today's different. Today, 9 years later, with the interactive audience, the face cam, all these elements, I feel like the second run could be much better because we're all going to be talking about Fallout lore. We're going to be talking about elements of the game that I didn't know or understand the first time. Like, I remember really struggling with the base management shit the first time around because I didn't know what I was doing. Now, it's 9 years later. Everyone understands it. People could help me with it to get through it. Make it a lot more interesting. You know, I think the first playthrough was kind of like, I enjoyed it. The second playthrough could be like, we enjoy it together, right? Because of my difference in style now. So there you go. Anyway, so yeah, again, if you guys want to see some kind of Fallout content, I'm all for some kind of Fallout content. The question is, what do you want to see? We got to decide. I'm not sold that getting Fallout 76 and buying a premium subscription to try to play an online game by myself solo is going to work. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like that's going to be an element of something that'll work. If I buy it, we play it once or twice. It's like, well, this is obviously meant for online co-op. It's boring. Then everyone wants online co-op. And I say, I'm not doing that. I never committed to that. I want, we're not even know if we're playing this game at length. And that's what I feel will happen. You know? I mean, take a look at Helldivers 2. I'm having a great time with it. I'm actually getting better. I'm unlocking the stratagems. There's still people screaming at me to play it co-op. I'm like, boy, you guys are dense. I said from day one, I'm not doing co-op with teams. I literally said that from day one. If you want this game, I'm going to play it solos like I do everything else. I'm not opening that potential for trolling. I'm not stupid. People are just dumb. They ask for what they want. I say, you're not getting it. And then they demand it. Well, you're still not getting it. You just sound dumb. So, same thing with Fallout 76. If we play it, it's going to be solo. And that means I'm going to have to buy this special premium thing. And I'm still not doing it online co-op. I'm still doing it solo to stop the potential for harassment and trolling. I'm not dumb. It's like you want me to give in to being dumb, right? Already we got moronic trolls right now in the chat who are all saying dumb shit too, and I'm bagging them too. I mean, again, these are the people who are going to demand stuff. You know what I'm saying? Game Boy, what's going on? Good morning. It's good to see you here. When I do a Nintendo Switch online stream where I play SNES N64 games, I have. I've done several playthroughs on the Switch online. Classic N64. No, excuse me. Classic Super Nintendo games. I've not done X64 because N64 is the premium subscription. You have to pay even more money. It sucks that they did that. I wish they didn't hide it behind a higher paywall than just the standard online, but they did. So I guess, if you have specific examples of things you might like to see for me to play for Switch Online, I don't really check it that regularly. Then again, Nintendo doesn't really update it that regularly either, right? Like, honestly, what have I played Switch in the last 4 months? Anything? What did I play Switch in the last 4 months? Was Mario Wonder the last Switch game I played? I genuinely can't remember playing anything since then. It's been a long time. That thing's just kind of collecting dust at this point, right? Okay. All right. Anything else, guys? Any other questions or concerns? Coop says, my only concern is if you start Fallout 4, don't get it stuck in the playthrough for 2-3 months. The thing is, again, if we're going to play games like that, the attitude should be thus. We are not committing to having to play the whole thing. We're not committing to playing this game for months and months. It's just right now people want it because Fallout is hot and the new version's coming out in a little over a week. So maybe jump in and see. Does it work? We play it for a couple streams. If it works, keep it in the rotation. What if it doesn't work? Then don't keep it in the rotation. There's no risk. It's already a game I've played. It's on Game Pass. It's a new version. At least we get to see what the upgrades are. Does it look significantly better or whatever, right? But I feel like it's a non-risk game, and it's fine to try that. Just like with Harold Halibut. There's no risk there. We tried it. Okay. People found it boring. So then we don't do it again. What's the big deal? There is none. Right? Again, I think the concern is people are of the impression that I'm going to beat every game I play. I don't have to do that. I don't have to commit to that, you know? Yes, Fulcrum finally addressed it. He said, I love that all your Fallout characters are on the outside. Yeah, but it's actually first person. So this is Fallout 3, the original run. New Vegas, the original run. The second Fallout 3 run, when I started, I think that was Direct Capture, or early days of Direct Capture. Okay? This is the I think this is the Fallout 4 beta. No, it's not. What is this? This is something I did in 2015, but I don't know what it is. But it's something from 2015. I don't know if it's New Vegas. Then we had Fallout 4, and then we had the second Fallout New Vegas run. Those are all the characters right there, right? Pretty cool, right? Lucky Gremlin says it went from 12K players online to 43,000 players online. What did? Yeah, this is the one I don't recognize. The 2015 Scut. I don't recognize that at all. What's that from? Because this is the second New Vegas run right here, right? Did I do another New Vegas run? I don't remember. It's been the game. It's so separated. I don't remember. Did I play New Vegas before I played Fallout 4? I don't even remember that, but it might have happened. Would I consider doing Fallout 3 again? Yes, but not now because they've already stated it's going to have an updated version. I don't want to happen what always happens to me. Oh, I want to replay Metroid Prime, and I play it, and then within a couple years, the new Metroid Prime remastered comes out, and it's much better. I want to play Resident Evil 4 again, so I replay it, and then the remake comes out within a year. Oh. So we already know they're working on a new version of Fallout 3. We don't have the details yet, but we know they're working on it. I don't want to play Fallout 3 now and then have the fucking new version come out the next day and everyone's like, oh, shucks. You know? So, if anything, we know the new version of Fallout 4 is coming out in a week or so. That we could jump on as it's coming out and enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Rather than playing Fallout 3 and having remorse that I played the old version, right? When you guys say modded Fallout 4, I don't know what you mean. I'm sure there's a zillion mods for the game, but I don't know what mods you would want me to install. They do have mods on console now, but I don't know what you would want me to try. Oh, you didn't know that Maximum Turbo? Yeah, it was actually leaked last year. There was this big leak during the Microsoft court hearings about them being able to buy Activision Blizzard. So the big leak happened of all their plans, and one of their plans was to remake Fallout 3, but it looks like it's probably going to be more like what they're doing right now at Fallout 4, where they're going to make it just run way better, some resolution upscaling, frame rate upscaling, you know, those kind of tweaks for modern consoles. All right, anything else, guys? Good topics covered today. Good discussion. All right, enjoy your permanent ban for talking about detractor content. You must be a real idiot. What a moron. Am I interested in a new TMNT roguelike on the Switch? I'm not aware of a new TMNT roguelike on the Switch. The only game I'm aware of is that they re-released an arcade-only game that was especially it was the spiritual successor to the original TMNT arcade game, but it was featuring the more cartoony Ninja Turtles from like the 2000s rather than the classic Ninja Turtles. And I know they ported that to consoles recently. But that's it. I'm not aware of any other TMNT game. And I just looked at the game schedule, so I don't know what you mean. The mods may not work with the updated Fallout 4. Ah, listen to that. Because Fallout 4 is getting a new update, mods may not work. Yeah, in fact, isn't it true? There was a giant mod that was being made called Fallout London. And this was supposed to be like a huge expansion mod where Fallout, what happened in Europe during all this time. And it was going to release, and they just indefinitely delayed it, citing that Fallout 4 is going to get this update patch. And they're going to have to adjust the game to work with the update patch. And therefore, they can't release it now. Correct? So, yeah. That's absolutely true. And maybe you're right. Maybe I won't be able to do any mods anyway. Hmm. All right, anything else? Mods can be added at any time, so it's fine. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work. The way I see it, we boot her up with the new version. We see how it runs, what it looks like, test it out. Because what's the point if then we're going to put mods on that are going to change the experience anyway? Don't you want to have that raw experience of the new update to begin with to see how it works? Granddad, I stay away from games that are team play that don't allow you to drop in as a solo player. So, for example, can you play Apex Legends solo? Yes. Is it fun? No. It really is best when you have a team you're coordinated with, you're speaking with. I know because I did that. I actually had two other people that I played Apex Legends with, and it went well, and we won matches. Actually, we're getting to the point where we were winning matches regularly, and I got bored of the game and just stopped playing it because it wasn't really doing anything for me anymore. So basically, I've done it before, but what ends up happening is when you have a team-based game where you rely on the team, all right, trolls try to ruin it. They'll come in, they'll fuck around, and, just take a look at a game like Helldivers 2. I'm lucky that the game has that drop-in style assist gameplay. I'm able to join a group and usually have no problem. Every once in a while, the troll's gotten into the match and ruins it completely. Now imagine that I'm trying to get a team together, and you just got these idiots who are going to pretend like they're fans and come in and just doing it to ruin it for everybody. This has happened already. I used to play these year-end multiplayer series where I would play games like Battlefield or Call of Duty and stuff like that, and the trolls would just go in there and ruin it for everyone. What's the point of setting up something, giving those trolls the power to ruin it? I'd be an idiot. My content is successful without the team-based shit. I don't need it. I can enjoy games without having the team-based stuff. If I had known that Helldivers 2 had the drop-in, drop-out solo, I would have played it earlier. I was led to believe that the game was designed around communication as a team. You absolutely needed it, and you don't. That's a farce. I'm playing it now, just dropping in, and it actually works fine. So now that I know that, I kind of feel stupid because I was led to believe something that wasn't true. I would have played it early. I absolutely would have. But it has to be a game like that, not a game based totally around team play, because I'm not going to have entire things set up just to be ruined by trolls. Okay? And that's it. There's nothing else to it. There's no, but what about this? But what about that? There's no what abouts. It's just a no. It's not going to happen. I'm smarter than that. I'm wiser than that. I've been there. I've been through it. No matter what you try, the trolls will ruin it. Why ruin an experience? Why even get hopes up for it, right? Why do that to the community? Why say, oh yeah, we're going to try it, and then it just gets ruined? There's no point. Just don't do it. Don't create the opportunity, and then you'll be fine. All right? Yes, no whatabouts. I've had enough about the whatabouts. No whatabouts, here, there, or anywhere. The answer is no. We're not doing that team-based stuff. Unless there's, I could just drop in solo, join a team and play, much like Call of Duty, much like I'm doing with Helldivers, then that's okay. But no more whatabouts. Had enough. There's a TMNT game that plays like Hades on the Switch. I've never heard of this. When the hell did that come out? Never heard of it. Didn't even know it existed. And apparently it's not well known because no one's talking about that in the gaming circles I follow. And I follow the circles that are the announcements of all new games and everything. And I haven't even heard of that one. Splintered Fates. Huh. Splintered Fates. Is it time to adjourn? Have we run out of questions that are pertinent? I think so. Oh, it just got announced this morning? Well, that would be why I thought... If it got announced this morning, it's not out. I thought you were saying this is a game that's out. No wonder. I get half information. No wonder I don't know about it. I thought that this is a game that's already out and everything. Okay. All right, I think we're going to end it. Pertinent discussions have dried up. So, thank you guys for a good podcast. When I come back on Friday, obviously we'll have the usual routine of Phil's Day Off discussion. Also, any, get news or in the industry or anything that happens. Typically, for some bizarre reason, most news tends to happen on whatever day I have off. If I have a Thursday off, it'll happen on a Thursday. If I have a random week where I have a Tuesday off, it'll be on the Tuesday. I don't know how that works, but it always seems to. So likely when I come back on Friday, I'll have a lot to say. All right? On a podcast. Nice jam-packed one, hopefully. So, plus I'm sure I'll be talking about how the live review of the Fallout TV series went. Right? So, alrighty, everybody. I thank you all very, very much for a great show and a great streaming week. This was a good week of variety and fun. We tried some new stuff. Some stuff is working. Some stuff didn't. It's all good. That's the beauty of having the interactive active streams, that we can all figure this stuff out together and have a good time. And I'm having a good time with all of you. Thank you. I cannot wait for yet another fun, full week coming up next week. And I wish you all the best. I will see you Friday.